Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Christy and today I'm going to be making over my breakfast bar. When I installed the cabinets back in the fall, I built a countertop to extend over so that I could finally have a breakfast bar. I've always wanted one, so I'm loving the fact that not only do I have extra seating, but also the extra counter space. I've always thought about the seating aspect to it, but I guess I never really thought about the extra counter space, and it definitely comes in handy. In last week's video, I finished my dining room makeover, and I used the Sherwin-Williams iron ore paint on the buffet table. And so that's what I'm using here on the Shiplap, and it really has tied everything together like I was hoping for. After installing the cabinets, I was left with this space, and I've just been using it as storage, and actually it'll come in handy as storage, so I'm adding some shelving to it and just to make it more functional and of course more pleasing to the eye. Okay, so here we go. The first step to shiplapping anything is to, of course, get your wood cut. I use hardwood plywood underlayment from Home Depot, and it comes in sheets. It comes in different size sheets. I always get the 4x8 because that's the most affordable. I'll make sure to link it below so you can see exactly what I use. But this is actually my fourth shiplap project in my house. So I didn't actually have to buy anything for this one. This was just left over from the last project. How wide you cut your board is completely up to you. It's personal preference. Most people that I've noticed do 4 to 6 inches. I usually do 6 inches, but like I already had some boards that were 5.5 inches. I think there were 6 of them. They must have been the end pieces of the plywood from the previous project, but so I just went with the 5.5 inches. So I already had some boards cut, so I'm just cutting mine to 5.5 inches. After cutting all your boards, the edges are going to be a little rough, so I'm just giving all the edges a quick sand, and on some of the boards I'm focusing on the surface just because they're probably the boards that were in the garage and have collected dirt and dust or whatever, cobwebs. But majority of the time you just need to sand the edges, and I am using a chargeable sander. But you can definitely do this by hand too. You don't have to have a power sander. I'm not sure I don't know what to call it, but you can do this step by hand too.
I don't think we got enough time to sort out all the fights, to sort out all the lies. Oh baby, yeah. Oh, no. There was a part of
I'm now about to paint the first coat on the boards, and actually I usually do this once it's on the wall. I usually put the boards up and then paint, but it was so nice out today that I couldn't bring myself to come inside. So I'm actually doing the first coat on the boards outside, and then I'll do the second coat in between the boards once they're installed.
there was a part of me that knew that. And still I'm caught by surprise. I thought you'd always be mine. Oh yeah. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose.
I had some extra plywood from when I built the countertops in the kitchen, so I'm just using some scrap pieces that I had and cutting them down to size for the shelves in that open space in the corner of the breakfast bar.
Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay.
Okay, so now it's later in the day. I'm back inside, and now it's time to get this project completed. So I'm starting at the floor, and whether you start at the floor or the ceiling, well, if you're doing a wall, which usually I'm doing walls, it's personal preference, and so I started at the bottom. And I'm not using any glue. Like I said, this is my fourth Shiplap project. I've never put glue on the back of the boards. I've never had any issues with any of the boards. I always just use my brad nailer. To me, it's faster, it's easier, and if I change my mind, I just pull the boards off the wall. If you change your mind and there's glue on the back, then of course that's a lot more work you have to do to get the wall or whatever back into shape. So I'm just using my brad nailer. And for some reason, when I measured the back of the cabinets from end to end, I was getting a different measurement from the bottom compared to the top. It was super close, but as I've mentioned before, I'm a perfectionist, so I did pre-cut the first two boards, but the rest of the boards I'm going to cut and measure as I go along.
Stay afloat, yeah, we keep moving like the river goes. Baby, going down, 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 down. Yeah. And I thought, it's time I'm letting you go. This time I know it for sure. I just thought I should let you know. Yeah, now, no, it's no more, no. I got so high on a low. That's when I loved you the most. Now I thought I should let you know. Yeah, now, no, it's no more, no. I really thought we had it covered. Was gonna patch up all the scars, but we smashed up all the parts. Oh, na na na. Always knew that you were stubborn, but didn't know it'd be so hard to figure out.
Okay, so now that all the boards are up, now I'm going to do the second coat and get in between the grooves. And one thing I would suggest, this is a small project, but if you're going to do a wall, for my walls, what I did was put a board up, painted the wall behind on top of that board. Oh, it's hard to explain, but okay, put the board up and then paint where you know that the wall will be seen in between the boards, and then put your next board up. And what that does is it makes it so that you don't have to, during this step, try and get in between those grooves, because between the grooves, it will already have been painted. I didn't take the time to do that just because this was a small project, but it definitely is helpful if you're going to do a wall.
Baby, going down, 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 down. Yeah. And I thought, it's time I'm letting you go. This time I know it for sure. I just thought I should let you know. Yeah, now, no, it's no more, no. I got so high on a low. That's when I loved you the most. Now I thought I should let you know. Yeah, now, no, it's no more. We're done now. No, it's no more. We're done now. No, it's no more. We're done now. No, it's no more. No, no. We're done now.
All right, so now it's the next day, and I'm just going to do the molding. I'm doing an outside corner molding and then quarter round on the floor.
No, it's no more, we're done now. No, it's no more, we're done now. No, it's no more, no, no. Yeah.
I'm not sure if I was more excited to do the shiplap or to do this shelving, because as you can see, that little corner is a hot mess. So what I'm going to do is paint the inside and then install the shelves. I have the 2 plywood boards that I cut and painted, and then I'm just using some 2x2s that I already had. I cut those, and I'm going to use those as the supports for the shelves.
It's not ready. Under neon bright lights when I see you dancing on the Polaroids. Just wanna have a good time, don't you? It all goes low, low, low. I don't wanna talk before the moment slowly slips away.
watching this video and you know me, then you should be so proud of me because that's a spider. And I think I had myself in pretty good control. But it was just a little house spider. If it was something bigger, then you guys would have had a very comical moment here.
Dressed in cigarette smoke, is it the print you wanna leave behind? Get all those cold eyes cold looking, or saying bye bye bye. I don't wanna talk before the moment slowly slips away.
Okay, so now I'm trying to figure out how to get a straight edge here. And I know somewhere around here somewhere is a straight edge and I could not find it. I'm not surprised though because I have tools inside, outside, upstairs, downstairs, they're everywhere, but I couldn't find it. So I tried some masking tape, that wasn't working. I ended up using a board. But sometimes when you're working on a project like this, you just got to use your brain and figure out what might or might not work and just go with it, because especially with paint, if you mess up, you can fix it.
Get a little dirty, baby, nothing you ain't gonna take, yeah. Fire burning like I do under my tattoos. Just a remedy, 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 yeah. And the way you go, baby, don't you know there's a remedy, 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 yeah. Darling Palooza, ain't gonna lose ya. I'm gonna do that. Darling Palooza, ain't gonna lose ya. Darling Palooza, ain't gonna lose ya. I'm gonna do that. Darling Palooza, ain't gonna lose ya. Was it hot for you, baby love? Hot for you, baby love. Hot for you, baby love. Hot, 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 hot for you, baby love. Hot for you, baby love. Yeah, yeah. Hot for you, baby love. Hot for you, baby love. Hot for you, baby love. Hot, 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 hot for you, baby love. Hot for you, baby love. Yeah, yeah. Fire burning like I do under my tattoos. Just a remedy, remedy, remedy. Yeah, and the way you go, baby, don't you know there's a remedy, 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 yeah.
Okay, so I just got home from work, got dinner in the air fryer, so if you hear a noise in the background, it's the air fryer. And I'm gonna paint the bottom moldings the gray also, because this has been done for 2 days, and every time I walk through here, the white just stands out too much for me. So I'm gonna paint the bottom ones, see how that looks. I might end up painting the outside molding too, so we'll see. If I was gonna leave them white, I would go ahead and fill it in the nail holes and then just paint them a white. But with this color, I didn't fill in any of the holes, and you can't even really see them because they're so dark. So I'm not gonna fill them in.
I don't think we got enough time to sort out all the fights, to sort out all the...
Alright, so I just stood back and I decided I'm gonna paint this piece over here too. Just leave that outside one white.
I'm gonna do that, darling Palooza, ain't gonna lose ya. There's no remedy, remedy, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry and do a second coat and then see what I think and see if I want to paint that also. Okay, so I got these bins. Well, I took the measurements of the shelves down here and went on, I ended up finding these on Amazon. So I just opened them. Well, actually I set something in them for probably about an hour since I've been home. I noticed that they did say use a steamer or something to flatten them out, because when they came they were all in a vacuum sealed pack. I like the baskets. I love these. These are really nice baskets, and they were super affordable. They came in a pack of 3. I actually need 4, I realize, but I'm going to start off with 3. I'll make sure to link them down below, but eventually they should look square. But for now, I'm just going to put them in here. I'm just going to use this for storage for just extra stuff. Like up here, I just have some extra forks. And then my pizza stone. I've only used it once. I gotta find some good recipes for that. If you guys have any good recipes for a pizza stone, let me know, because the one that I tried, it was alright. And I figure with these baskets too, because these shelves are so deep back, I can just throw random whatever behind it, and the baskets will hide all the clutter behind it. And of course I still have a piece of flooring to do down here, but I'm not going to do this piece until I finish. One of the videos coming up is a whole section over there in the kitchen. And I hate that I can't show you guys the kitchen in, I try so hard the way I position the camera so that you can't see the kitchen, because back in the fall I did a lot in the kitchen, but I have so much still left to do. But I don't want to take away from, I'm doing a video on it, so I don't want to take away from that and let you guys see everything back there yet. Soon, but not yet. So yeah, I just have, these are just some extra coffee cups. When I did the farmhouse, when I did the coffee bar over there, I found some coffee cups that I really liked on Amazon, but they only came in this huge box, so this will last me probably at least a year, maybe even longer, I don't know. Actually, I'm just going to shove those back there. I actually don't have anything yet right now to put in these baskets. I gotta find something to get them flattened out. Well, for now, actually maybe I'll turn them sideways. There, the wrong side of them actually looks better, so I'm gonna leave it at that for now. I just figured the darker gray would just blend everything, because when I put these bar stools back, and I do have one more bar stool to spray paint also, but I figure once the bar stool is up there with the gray in the background, it should just all kind of just blend together.
Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. And if you're not subscribed, you're gonna wanna be subscribed and turn on those notifications, because next week I'm going to be decluttering a room, and thinking of what you guys are gonna see is already giving me anxiety. But I promise I am going to keep it 100% real, not hide anything. And who knows what we're gonna find. So stay tuned. We'll find out next week. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.